Ba, ba, ba. Hello, people. Welcome back to another video by your good friend Chad Marco. So, there was something that I wanted to discuss. Give me a second here. I gotta adjust the mic real quick. But you guys know I'm a fan of Street Fighter. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter, Six. Was it six? Yeah. And I've been enjoying it. I'm having a great time with the game. Again, I can't give Capcom enough credit for, just how good of a job they've done. And the game is like young. We got years of this, and a much bigger cast is gonna, be on the way. But I've noticed that certain top players have been calling this game very scrubby. I think Mena RD in particular, he kind of started this. I forgot the exact tweet, but yeah, he basically called the game scrubby. And Mena RD is one of the best Street Fighter players in the world right now. I think he's actually projected to be the winner of Evo. The Evo tournament is coming up, and I think Daigo was asked about this as well. And he was kind of like not as explicit with how he said it, like MinRD, but he said that he think that basically it was intentional. Like Capcom intentionally made the game more casual friendly, if you will. And you guys know I'm not the best Street Fighter player in the world. Like I'm barely decent. I'm struggling to get by, but I'm trying. And normally I don't feel like I'm really in position to make those types of calls, because I've never really like grinded it out in a fighting game, like the pros have. But I'm confident when I say this in particular. Drive impact reversal is overpowered. Drive impact reversal is overpowered. And it didn't hit me until recently. And what made me realize it was this. Let me see if I can set it up real quick. Let me see. How can I set this up? Give me a second here. So I'm going to do a block reversal. A block reversal. What's something that'll be easy? Maybe a heavy punch? Okay. All right. Okay. Just give me a second here. Oh, hold on. Okay. Try again. So if you notice, when you do a drive parry, or a perfect parry, you get reduced damage when you do that. Look at how much damage that come with it. So it did 1,659 damage. Now this is how much it normally does. Oh, hold up, give me a second. I'm turning it off. Oh, block 2. So as you can see, normally it would do 3,180 damage. So why did I bring that up? And it's because of this. Now let's look at drive impact. So let me see. Let's see. Reversal again. So let's do reversal after damage. And we'll do drive impact. Oh, turn it on. Okay. So I drive impact reversal. And how much is that? 3,237 damage. Now, the reason why what made me realize how scrubby drive impact. I'm not even gonna say scrubby. It's scrubby, but mostly I think it's overpowered. Is that what sense does it make that drive perfect parry, which is arguably one of the most difficult, I wouldn't call it particularly difficult, but it's definitely probably the most difficult game mechanic to utilize mid combat, because it's not like the regular drive parry where you can just hold it and then you don't receive damage and your drive gauge goes up. For the perfect parry, you have to actually time it. You have to time it, kind of like Street Fighter Third Strike. In fact, I've heard some people say that the timing is even more strict than in Street Fighter Third Strike. So what I'm saying is, what sense does it make that the more difficult game mechanic to utilize actually nets you less of a reward? So basically, if you do manage to get a perfect parry, you get much less damage than what you would normally get, and much less damage than what you would get if you had did a drive impact reversal. Now, to me, that just doesn't make any sense, because it's so much easier to do a drive impact reversal than it is to do a perfect parry. Now, obviously, you only get drive impact reversals if your opponent is actually willing to drive parry in the... No. In fact, no, that's not true. And see, this is why it's definitely scrubby. Now, it'd be one thing if you can only drive impact reversal somebody's drive impact, but you can... Now, it also works like this. So you also get drive impact reversal off of an opponent's... Well, really, any of their attacks. Like, any attack can be drive impact reversal. So there's been a lot of times in a fight where I might do something like jump in, heavy kick, or hold up, I might do like now normally they would block. So let me see. Go to block reversal and drive impact. Okay, let me see. This is gonna work, right? Hold up, put them on block 2. Okay. Boom. So now I blocked it there, but there have been times where I would do like a jump in and then try to get... All right, I'm dealing with it the right way. We know mid battle is way different, but hypothetically, there have been times where I would do stuff like that, where I jump in and try to follow up my attack, and then they press drive impact right as I'm doing it, and then depending on the move that you throw out, you might not recover in time to drive impact reversal or knock them out of it. Because obviously once they go into drive impact, if you hit them 3 times, it breaks the armor and stops the drive impact. You can throw them or you can drive impact reversal. But there have been so many times, because you gotta think, there are certain attacks, right, that you can't drive impact cancel. And that's important. And this is something that I'm learning right now. But let me turn these off real quick. All right, so it's important to know that, like, for a lot, like just for example, off of Cammy's light, like standing light punch, I can cancel into drive impact. So if they try to use drive impact as I'm doing that, it'll be very easy for me to cancel into it. But look at Cammy's like standing heavy kick. Now I'm pressing drive impact. You notice how it doesn't like instantly go into it, because you can't cancel from certain moves into drive impact. Now watch this. This is standing furious punch. She can cancel right out of it into drive impact. This is crouching heavy punch. She can't do it. She can't cancel right out of it. You have to recover completely before. So she has to recover completely before you can use it. So basically, now this differs for every character, but you can only drive impact cancel from certain moves. I can't do it after my standing medium kick, but I can do it during my crouching medium kick. And so what's happened to me a lot of times is that I might throw out a move, and then depending on the timing of when they throw out the drive impact, there was really just nothing I could do, because you can only drive impact reversal after, well, you can only drive impact reversal either after throwing out a move where you can drive impact cancel like this. But if you can't, you got to wait for that move to recover, and while it's recovering, their drive impact is going through the motion, and if you don't recover before that drive impact hits you, you get hit with a drive impact reversal. Okay. Now, some people might think, oh, you're just a platinum scrub complaining. Let me tell you guys, I've benefited a lot from the drive impact reversal. I've drive impact. I have benefited quite a bit from the drive impact reversal. Like, I'm not saying this as just somebody that's upset, somebody that's mad about it, because I've benefited from it as just as much as I've gotten my ass kicked because of it. So I'm not coming at it from that angle. I'm literally in awe. Like, when it hit, and like I said, it didn't hit me until I compared it to perfect parry. Cause think about it, shut up. Cause you gotta think about it. What sense does it make? Again, for the more difficult maneuver to get you a much smaller reward than the easier one. Cause again, you gotta think about it. Part of my issue with drive impact reversal is that I've noticed that it kind of fucks up the neutral game a little bit. Because, you know, during neutral, when you're doing footsies and you're trying to whiff punish, like just for example with Cammy, right? One of her best normals for whiff punishing is her standing heavy kick. This move right here, it moves you forward a little bit and it's got good range. But the thing is, I've seen times where my opponent, they would throw something like, okay, they would do something like they would throw something out mid screen, right? And then I would say, okay, whiff punish time. Throw it out, and right as I'm throwing it out, like they would basically it's like a bait, really. Like, I don't know if they're doing it intentionally and baiting me or if it's just like luck. But I've seen them do it where they would throw out a move mid screen, and then I'm trying to punish them, and then right after they throw it out, they do the drive impact, and I get caught. Especially like with this. I've noticed it with this and the crouching, the crouching heavy kick. Crouching roundhouse kick. Yeah, I've gotten caught by that a couple times. And again, it's one of those things where I've benefited from it too. So I'm not saying it just because I've gotten hit with it. This is something that's benefited me as well. And so the more I play the game and I'm learning its mechanics and things like that, the more clear it is to me why people are saying, Marissa got some big ass titties too. I just noticed that, but it's becoming more clear to me why people are saying that this game is so scrub. Because again, you would think that you would get a bigger reward for doing a perfect parry than you would for doing the drive impact. Because the drive impact, you just press a button and you get it at the right time, then boom. And see, this is the other reason why this is such a scrubby mechanic. Because what it basically does, let me show you. Let me see. Let's go back to reversal, block reversal. Okay. Notice how the opponent crumples right in your face. So what this does is that it sets your opponent up for you to just do your biggest combo. Oh, fucked it up. Let me get to the easy side. Oh, I fucked it. No, look, it's personal now. it's personal now. Okay, so I finally got it. So my point is is that because with the drive impact, it causes your opponent to crumple right in your face. It allows the player to do whatever their biggest combo happens to be. It's pretty much just dump everything, fuck them up as bad as you possibly can if you hit it, you know. And the reason why that's so scrubby is because one thing you realize when you're trying to get good at fighting games is that it's easy to practice your it's easy to practice your combos, but it's much harder to hit those combos in an actual fight. And Yeah, it's much harder to actually hit those combos in an actual fight. And so what the drive impact does is that it removes the difficulty of having to struggle to get your best combos off mid match. Not saying that you don't still have to do that, but at least with the drive impact, if you hit it, then you get that one moment where you're able to actually get your biggest combo off without any sort of resistance, without having to line it up or think about it. It's just right there in your face. Just drive impact, boom, 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 there you go. And when I put everything together, I was like, you know what? It actually does make sense why people are calling this game so scrubby, because it does have drive impact in particular, and the drive impact reversal, I think, is just a very scrubby game mechanic. Undeniably, is that's just what it is. To be honest, I think out of everything I've seen in this game, from the drive rush to the drive parry to the drive, what is this thing when you, I forgot exactly what it is. But it's like a, kind of like a drive get off me move or something like that. I forgot what it's called. The drive impact is definitely the worst. And I think if I wanted anything in this game to be nerfed, I think that the drive impact, in my opinion, needs to be nerfed. I think now there are several ways they could do it. I think maybe making it cost 2 bars. Cause I think just being able to throw it out like that at the cost of 1 bar, like you gotta think about it. Like what you get out of it, what you could potentially get out of it versus the cost, I think is just, it's unbalanced. The fact that you can get a full free combo and they crumple right in your face off of that 1 bar, I think again it's too much. And I get it, you run the risk of being drive impact reversed, but I think either way it's just scrub territory. Or I think this would probably be more reasonable or more likely. There should be damage scaling off of the drive impact reversal. It doesn't have to be as extreme as the drive. In fact, you know what? I'll say this. Nah. Maybe that's a bit too much. But I'm sure some people will argue that the drive parry shouldn't have as harsh of a damage penalty. It shouldn't be so bad to where you have that much damage shaved off for really executing one of the more difficult game mechanics mid-battle, where you have to actually time and anticipate somebody's attack, and you can't just hold it, you gotta tap it and press it. That actually requires more skill than just holding this or pressing that. And so I think personally they should probably just reduce the damage of the drive impact reversal, particularly when you get it and they crumple in your face. I think whatever combo you get, whatever damage you do, should be shaved at least by like 30. I say at least by like 33% or something like that. Cut it down by like cut a third of it off, because to me it just really doesn't make sense that you get rewarded so much off of just pressing one button. And then again, like I said, the how you can throw it out against somebody's like certain normals where they just won't have the opportunity to drive impact back. Like I've seen it too. And again, I'm just using Cammy as an example, but there are different characters with different moves that'll be the same thing. But I've noticed like with Cammy, you can actually do the spiral arrow, right? And that's pretty unsafe if you're very unsafe if you're close, but you can space it, right? So if you space spiral arrow correctly, then it's safe on block, But I've noticed there have been people who would anticipate my spiral arrow and they would just drive impact, and I'm not going to recover in time. Like spiral arrow, drive impact, I'm not gonna I'm done. Like that's happened several times as well. And it's the same thing with other moves. Of course, again, it varies from character to character, but I just gotta be honest, like I don't hate it as a mechanic in of itself. I just think that it's too strong. I think drive impact as a mechanic is too strong, is overpowered given the risk versus reward. I just don't think it's really a balanced mechanic. I think it's way too scrubby, it's way too abusable, and I don't like what it does to the neutral in this game. Like how it affects it so much in terms of like having to be afraid of even whiff punishing, or even when you properly use your special moves to try to space or get in, you got to worry about the character, your opponent, just throwing out drive impact. And again, I know some people would say, "Oh, this is just scrub talk," Mr. Platinum 2, floundering in platinum. But I do think that, like, in my opinion, I think that drive impact reversal in particular, it's overpowered. Like at the very least, there should be either a damage reduction or it should cause 2 bars. But it has to that's the one thing in this whole game, like that's not character specific, that I think absolutely has to be adjusted. Characters aren't the only thing that should be adjusted and rebalanced. I think system mechanics can fall in the same category of needing some adjustment, and I think the drive impact reversal needs adjustment. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that and think about that, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you around.